Greetings, loyal minions. Welcome back to the SciShow, the #1 ranked YouTube channel for Friends. That's right, the cast of the popular sitcom Friends watch my channel. Well, most of them. Um, Drop them a comment. I'm sure they read the comments. If you've ever had anything you wanted to say to them, yeah, drop them a line. And yeah, thanks for watching, friends. Aurum. It's, what are we, Wednesday night? That means it's New Hero Night, as most nights do. Aurum, a new ninja in the Ninja Tower. It took a whole 1 month hiatus, I think, for ours, and Ninja Tower is back again. We have a red, I was going to say ninja, a red barbarian, uh, which gives the bleed talent. So we can see the maxed out talent there. Not one of the better class talents, to be honest, but it does the job. We have the Aether talent of Rage, 15% attack and a further 1% every time they hit for 6 turns. It's actually quite good. The ninjas being very fast speed on that first charge means you can make good use of that Rage and get an extra hit on that first attempt. We can see the overall power. It's crept up by another one. We'll jump into the family bonus. Very good family bonus for the ninjas. So with 1, 2, or 3 heroes, you get 5, 10, 15% chance to dodge normal attacks and special skills, and 5, 10, 15% chance to counterattack with 60, 90, or 120% of the damage received. So nice little bonus there. It just means you can dodge some attacks here and there. Can keep you alive and works in well because they do generally have a lower defense and health. We have the awesome passive of decreased minion health, minus 50% less when summoned. I'd like to see that to start having an impact on mega minions, to be honest. There's a good deal of minion summoners, so it is useful, depending on what the metas are for who's being used. But yeah, it'd be nice if it had some sort of impact on the megas as well, in my opinion. Very high attack stat, reasonable enough defense, but quite low on the HP. So, keep that in mind when you're embleming, depending if you want to just keep going with the attack or whether you want to try to make them last a little bit longer. I've mentioned it many times. I do enjoy the ninja speed with the mana charge. So they have 100, 200, or 300% mana. On the first mana charge, what are we called? Rending Dagger. Fair enough. The ninjas are quite basic when it comes to the artwork. Not a great deal to say. She's a ninja. She's got some sort of pointy object in her hands. I generally try to stay away from women like that. Anything pointy, and I'm kind of like, yeah, nah, just, yeah, slowly back away. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I need to go into that anymore, do I? I've had a few stories I could tell about women with sharp objects, but moving on. On the first charge, we're dealing 385% damage to the target. Target gets a mark of bleed for 2 turns. Whenever a marked target receives bleed damage, they gain a stack, maximum 10. Each stack increases all damage the target receives by plus 5%. Okay. All damage, the target receives 316 bleed damage over 2 turns. So, very small snipe on that first one. Again, I do find it very useful. Hello, put. Come on. So Katsis has decided she wants to take over or do something. Hello. Hello, come on. So Katsis says hello and that she would like you to subscribe so she can have more food, please. Yeah, I like the charge. It's not a big hit on the first one, but I like the flexibility it gives you. Especially if you're taking a red stack and you've hit someone with a few red tiles, it could be a chance that you could take that first charge. If you don't see any more reds on the board, think, crap, I'm not going to get anything better. So you might be able to use that first charge and get a kill, especially with the follow-up bleed damage. and also the little stack that it's making it more damage. So similarly, you may have a couple of red tiles or whatever coloured tiles lined up under a hero, and you might be able to hit them with the first attack, knowing that that little 5% extra damage and the bleed damage, plus the couple of tiles you're about to hit them with, might get the kill. So it can just be the difference between getting a kill and a ghosting lane. Or if you can see more red tiles on the board, you just know that you can get her charged even further. So not too bad on the first charge. Second charge, 395% damage to the target and nearby enemies. The target and nearby enemies get mark of bleed for 4 turns, which does the same. It's a stack, gives them 5% extra damage. That's to 3, and the target nearby enemies receive 792 bleed damage over 4 turns. So it's a lot more than the first one, which was only 316, very small. 792 over 4. Sorry, it's actually not all that much difference because it's over 4. But you get out there a bit now. It can be dispelled, so keep that in mind. The third charge, I love it when you can get this one up. It's generally devastating. So 405% to all enemies. All enemies get a mark of bleed for 6 turns. Yeah, so that percentage is going up each time they get bleed. So each turn it's going up by 5%. I'm not sure if I made that clear on the first one, sorry. So the mark stays on them for 2 turns. So they end up with 2 lots of bleed damage and they get 10% extra damage if it's not cleansed. The same here with the future stack. So 405% damage to all, mark of bleed for 6 turns. So for 6 turns, they're going to be getting that bleed damage plus 5%. So at the end of that, they're taking 30% extra damage if it hasn't been removed. So that's really great. I mean, the slow speed one, that's probably more so if you've got your hero charged fully and you hit them with that, you probably don't really need to get the stacks on. But it could be that you're coming back, you've managed to stay alive. The enemy team has a lot of healing on minions up, and you need that to get back into the game. So huge hit, gets the stacks on everyone, and 1500 bleed damage over 6 turns. So that's quite significant if that can't be cleansed. So very good hero. I mean, the class actually ties in a little bit as well, because they're giving the bleed, but they're already getting bleed anyway. So yeah, if that adds on top, if it's a secondary bleed, yeah, pretty good hero. Nothing over the top. The ninjas are usually all reasonably similar. They generally hit quite hard, but they've never really been overpowered. They're just quite good heroes. They do die a little easier, so it's nice to have a bit of extra healing and protection with them. But yeah, very good hero. If you're doing pulls, you get a few pulls from the Ninja Tower. Best of luck to you. I hope you get the hero you're needing and wanting. There are a few good heroes in the Ninja portal. We have a 1% chance of getting featured hero and 1.5% of a non-featured. So pretty normal for the percentages there. As always, I'm struggling to wind this video up. I do apologise. Just wondering whether I needed to mention anything else. The cat's just scratching me a little bit, wanting to be patted. No. If you enjoy what I'm doing, please gently press the subscribe button. I'll probably stop saying that at some point. Give your kitty a scritch for me. And have a good one.